Okay, so I took a similar approach to Leah in that I used a lot of the tools that I frequently use or am recommending to people. So let's get this presentation here. Okay, so first of all, I get a lot of questions about switching to Google Apps. And if anybody is considering making the switch, I highly recommend you spend a lot of time on the deployment section of the Google Apps webpage. They have everything from explaining Google Apps to nonprofits, Google Apps to education, which many legal aid organizations are currently using. And the part that I find to be really useful is the help section on switching from Microsoft Outlook. It goes into the differences between the two platforms. It sets up a timeline. It sets up how to transition, and any sort of questions, comments that people have. There's a very extensive question and answer part of the page, so it definitely is a great place to start. There's also a plugin that they have that allows you to sync your Gmail and your Outlook during the transition as to not freak everybody out too quickly during the change. So another great Google resource, support.google.com. This can pretty much answer any question that you have about any sort of Google application, from Gmail to your Android device to YouTube, to anything that Google really runs. Again, there's support pages, blogs, frequently asked questions, and there's even a lot of these type of tips that are available for each of these applications, which are a great place to start. I highly recommend, if you do use Google, either for your personal or professional use, that if you have any questions, you check this out. This is one of my favorite XKCD cartoons here. It really speaks to anybody who's involved in tech support in their organization, and just proves how important it is to look for those answers on any sort of support pages or just on Google before you get too nervous about it. So I love technology. I love all the different fun web apps that are out there, but I still struggle to change my to-do list from a sticky note, from multiple sticky notes that cover my wall, end up on the bottom of my shoe, end up in the trash can, end up everywhere but where I need them. So I've been really looking for a way to really digitize my to-do list and keep organized. One tool that I know has been around for a while, but I just actually recently discovered, is the ability to add an email to your Google task list. So you do this by just clicking on the email that you would like to, clicking on More, and Add to Tasks. It then pops up on the task list, creates a task, and you can edit the specific name of the task, but it has a link to that related email in there. That way you're not losing track of the emails that are associated with certain things that you have to do, and really keeps you organized and able to match those tasks up. So another part of this little endeavor is Google Keep. Google Keep is fairly new. It rolled out less than a month ago, and it's kind of Google's plunge into the whole OneNote, Evernote market, and these apps serve as cloud-based note-taking functions, and Google Keep you can do through text, so you can type in, you can speak to it, and it'll create a note, and you can also use pictures, and this allows for all your information to be on Google Keep in your Google Drive, as well as on your smartphone. So it allows you to keep those notes with you wherever you are. One of my favorite characteristics about it is its simplicity. It's significantly simpler than OneNote and Evernote. Some people don't see that as a benefit, but I definitely enjoy it. One of the major criticisms, however, is will it stay? It actually rolled out a couple days after Google announced that they were eliminating Google Reader in July, so there are a lot of people who are concerned with putting their whole life onto this note-keeping application for Google only to someday make it obsolete. So that's just one little concern that's out there. A big trend right now in security is two-step verification. Apple and Google have been doing it for a while, and Microsoft just recently announced it. Twitter announced that they're going to start it. It allows for you to set up your email so that you get a text message with a code every time you log into a different computer. It's just an extra layer of security I use it for both my personal and my work email. And you can set it so if you're using the same computer, it'll only prompt you every 30 days. And it also will give you a set of backup codes, so to keep in your wallet or to keep at your desk or something like that. If you do forget your cell phone or don't have good cell phone service, you have access to these codes, so you will not get locked out of your email in case of an emergency. Chrome Remote Desktop is another feature that's fairly new. It obviously only works with Google Chrome at this point, and is available for free in the Chrome Web Store. It allows users to securely share your computer over the internet. So it allows someone to see your screen and take control of your computer. So how it works is that you are given a code. When you say, I want to share my screen, you're given a code. And then you can share this code with someone else who has Chrome Remote Desktop, and they'll be able to access your screen and take full control over your computer. Obviously a great resource for tech support. And these codes expire right after usage, so it's not like someone will be able to use this code repeatedly to get access to your computer when you don't necessarily want them to. It also works as remote access to your own computer. You can set up different computers that you have, so you will be able to access them through Chrome when you are away from your computer, at home, out of the office, etc. So again, great free tool for tech support to be able to, especially if you have multiple offices in your organization, if you can get people to download Chrome and use this extension, it really helps for that remote tech support. All right, so single sign-on is another big trend we're starting to see. Now, there are questions about its security and kind of going against Leah's suggestion to always never save your passwords and always type them in. But this allows you to sign into multiple different web pages, applications by using the same identification. So, for example, many of you have probably seen this prompt on a lot of websites where you can click Gmail and use your Gmail ID to sign in, your Microsoft ID, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Yahoo, anything that you already have already logged into your computer. It allows you to sign in that way. It can be a good idea to actively seek out applications that allow for single sign-on. That's what I try to do when I'm looking for applications that I want to spread throughout my organization, because it really makes it easier for people when I say, here, you can just click this button and sign on using your Gmail username and password, and you don't need to remember any more passwords for this. So like I said, it reduces password fatigue, it eliminates the need for multiple passwords, which, as Leah points out, leads to passwords on sticky notes. And like I said a little bit earlier, there are questions about security with this, in that Facebook will then know that you have accounts with all these different applications, and that is something that we may not want them to necessarily know. So definitely your choice on whether or not you want to use single sign-on, but I think in terms of widespread adoption and getting people to use these applications, it is really helpful. So the next couple of services I have are all ones that I found because of their single sign-on. I was looking for applications that I felt were efficient and were going to be good applications and tools, but I wanted people to be able to use them using their Google single sign-on. So the first here is Enlocked. It's an email encryption service, and I'm not going to obviously get into the details of encryption, but when looking for a way to encrypt emails, there's always this kind of battle between high security and high usability. and trying to find that balance is very tough. So Enlocked, I think, is a good spot in between. So it's not the most secure way to encrypt an email, but it is very secure. And also usability is very, very high. It's a browser extension that can be downloaded. And it also has its own website where these emails can be accessed. So what happens is a little button pops up next to your send button that says send locked. So you hit that and it encrypts your email and your attachments, sends it to someone else. This is the screen that they will see when they receive a message that you have encrypted with Enlocked, and they'll either download the plugin for their email client, or they can sign into their email on Enlocked's website to see the encrypted message. So like I said, that's not the most secure because it's still traveling for a brief time through the internet without being encrypted, but it is safer than sending a non-encrypted email. This is another tool that is kind of involved with security. It's a password manager. It's called Passpack, and it allows you to store and share your passwords with anybody. There's a multiple-step sign-in process, which really calls for high security. I mean, it helps you create a very secure password. It asks you to click the black box in a series of white boxes when you're signing in to make sure that you're not some sort of bot that's trying to get in. And like I said, it allows you to share specific passwords with other Passpack users. So again, great for the internal tech team to be able to share these passwords. So if someone is out or unavailable and there is something that needs to be accessed right away, you can do so by sharing these passwords on Passpack. Again, another single sign-on application, which again makes it easier for widespread adoption. So my final tool here is a project management software. It's called Asana. We started using it fairly recently, but Jeff Hogue and I have been using it very, very frequently. So I think it's kind of difficult to try to find a good project management software that works kind of the way your brain works. Everybody kind of manages projects differently and wants to be able to find the most efficient way to do that. So this creates workspaces, and you can invite people into your workspace. And then within your workspace, you create tasks. And you can put these tasks under different titles and subtitles. You can give them tags, and you can give them start and end dates, as well as assign them to specific users. And it allows these specific users to keep track through email notifications on upcoming deadlines, any modifications you've made to the task, any notes you've added, or documents you've uploaded that are specifically associated with a certain task. I highly recommend you check it out. It's another one that's it's free up to so many people in a workspace, and I think you can have as many workspaces as you want. So definitely another great tool. So I think that's it for me, and we'll pass it over to Kim.